Texas Cosmetology Practice Written Test 4. Have paper and pen ready to quiz yourself. The most critical part of a hair color service is the A. Consultation, B. Processing, C. Rinsing, D. Toning. To obtain a cosmetology operator license, one must A. Complete an apprenticeship, B. Complete the required training hours at a licensed school, C. Already know how to do hair, D. Complete continuing education. Which of the following is required to open a salon? A. Hire at least 3 employees. B. Pass a owner licensure exam. C. Apply for a correct license or permit to operate. D. Have a salon manager. During a permanent waving procedure, the piggyback wrap is especially effective on A. Long hair, B. Short hair, C. Fine hair, D. Coarse hair. Alkaline permanent waves are also known as A. Heat activated waves, B. Cold waves, C. Odorless waves, D. Low pH waves. During the process of a sodium hydroxide relaxer, when should the hair be shampooed? A. Right before the relaxer is applied. B. During the application of the relaxer. C. After the relaxer is rinsed from the hair and scalp. D. After the conditioner is applied. To measure a client's head, one should use A. Ruler, B. String, C. Yardstick, D. Cloth tape measure. Which type of haircut is at 180-degree angle? A. Blunt, B. Layered, C. Long layered, D. Short graduated. Traveling guidelines are used when A. Giving a blunt cut, B. Adding weight to the hair, C. It's your first time cutting, D. Giving a uniform layered cut. The tiny grains of pigment in the basal layer of the skin, which provide natural color, are composed of A. Keratin, B. Melanin, C. Lanolin, D. Collagen. To remove bonded wefts, the adhesive bonds are dissolved by A. Oil, B. Setting gel, C. Hairspray, D. Alcohol. If a blood spill occurs, floors and counters contaminated by the blood should be disinfected with A. A tuberculocidal disinfectant, B. Antibacterial soap and water, C. An antiseptic, D. 70% alcohol. What is the first line of defense against bacteria? A. Alcohol. B. Unbroken skin. C. White blood cells. D. Clothing. A skin abrasion produced by scratching is called A. A wheal. B. A vesicle. C. Milia. D. An excoriation. How long do you keep record of your continuing education certificates? A. 2 years. B. 3 years. C. 4 years. D. 5 years. Narrow rows of visible braids that lie close to the scalp and are created with 3 strand on the scalp technique is known as A. French braid, B. Fishtail braid, C. Twist braid, D. Cornrow. Also known as inverted braid, a 3 strand braid that is produced with an overhand technique. A. Invisible braid. B. Cornrow. C. Single braid. D. Twisted braid. Braid created with 2 strands that are twisted around each other. A. Fishtail braid. B. Rope braid. C. Cornrow. D. Invisible braid. In Texas, you must complete a total of how many hours for a cosmetology operator's license? A. 900 hours. B. 1,200 hours. C. 1,000 hours. D. 1,500 hours. What type of animals may be allowed in the salon? A. Service dogs. B. Any animal. C. Only small animals. D. No animals are allowed. Thank you so much for watching. If you found my video helpful, don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. And like always, I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye, guys.